Yeah.
Okay, so for me, okay. What's up, everyone? Hey, everyone in the chat. What's up, George, Josh, and Lily? Everyone.
Yeah.
I, I thought it was cool. I liked the concept of this season, making it be the dads and the sons. I was trying to explain like the whole hypnosis of the show to my mom, and she was like, "Wait, what?" And she was like, "Okay." I was explaining like the first season, and I'm like, "Okay, the second season is the dads and like some uncles and nephews." And which I think is cool. I thought it was different. I think it's kind of like a curveball because it's interesting to see the women have a different type of men to choose from. You know what I mean? With the older men and the younger men, because there's just some women who don't like younger men at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And not their sons.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not their sons.
What's up, Jamie? And it's just some people just kind of like the maturity when it comes to like older people, and then there's just some who like won't even look at someone under the age of like 30 or 40. Right. So I thought it was cool, but I know from like me, even just my own experience and just my friends, most men do like older women. It's like I don't know. It's almost like a gene inside of men or something like that. I don't know.
That's
but
interesting.
You can ask pretty much. I'll say 90% of men will probably say they want an older woman when they're younger, but then when they're older, they want a younger woman.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah. Now, before we continue on that thought, I want to thank all the fans that are tuning in because they heard you were a part of it tonight. So they're so excited to see Tyray a part of our Milfing Monday tonight. And I want to, let them know that you guys are going to get your questions answered. So stay tuned. And of course, Darren says, everyone, please put your question in that little question mark. And we'll spend about 15-20 minutes of this hour getting Tyray to answer your fans' questions. So we're very, very excited about that. So did everybody hear that? We want to say thank you for joining us. And the man is in the house. And we have the professional. And, of course, Darren is in the house with me. And so please go ahead and just submit. There you go. There you go. Right into that little question mark, and we'll get to it. So I've got 3 guys here tonight, and obviously Tyray is a friend of mine, and I want your honest feedback. And I know you watch me on this season, and we just left off a second ago stating that men do at a certain point in their life, they like someone a little older, and then there's at a point where they're younger and they like someone that's younger, right? When you're older, you like someone younger. When you're younger, you want someone older. So give us a little feedback on that, my friend, because I don't fall into the younger. I'm definitely, the older mom.
Yes.
You don't look it, though.
Right.
Thank you.
No, she does not.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think Lynette even said it on the show. She said you look better than most 20-year-olds.
Oh, Jackson, thank you so much.
You remember?
Thank you.
I was just watching that episode. Lynette said it. I think you guys are doing your little photo shoot. She said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Lynette is a sweetheart. She's
a bunch of the moms were like, "Oh my God, Kelly has the body and attitude and energy of a 20-something-year-old."
Right.
Right. Age is just a number, and I think it's a testament to taking care of yourself. This is all a side effect, but it's more mental, and I hope the energy was received well, even through television and social media, and so I just want to get my friend's feedback. Tyray, how do you feel about older women yourself, and Jackson, women in general? What is your preference at this point in your life?
What's funny though? I usually get DMs from like 20-year-olds. I'm 34, about to be 35. So I'm like, I need a little. You know what I mean? That's like way too young, and it's just weird. So I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I do like the maturity level. But then also, I don't act my age. I kind of act like a 12-year-old sometimes.
We all have those days.
Right.
I think it really depends on the person. Because like I kind of like the maturity, you know what I mean, of someone older than me, as opposed to like someone my age, you know what I mean. But then also a lot of people have the misconception that just because you're older, you know what I mean, that you don't want to go out and do stuff, or you don't want to travel, or you don't want to, like, you know, go out to, like, not, I say like a crazy party, but like, you know, go out for drinks, or like they think you're just slowed down, you know, and that's the mentality a lot of people have. Even like on the show I was on, Single Life, there was Lady Debbie. She was, I think, 67 or something like that. And, you know, she liked to travel. She liked to paint and go out. And I hung out with her. We went to this event. And, you know, we were drinking together, having margaritas and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like something that people just assume that you don't want to date someone, or that someone older isn't going to want to have fun. When I see, like, just from my own experience at the airport, it's always older people out doing fun things. You know what I mean? They're traveling. The old guy, he's wearing his Hawaiian shirt. You know, the lady's wearing her dress. They're like 75, and they're out, you know what I mean, drinking margaritas at 8 a.m. So it just kind of like depends on the person, you know?
Yeah.
I can absolutely just clear the air here with Kelly. She still likes to go out dancing.
Yes.
You know, and has the Energizer Bunny energy level. So age is not slowing Kelly down. I don't know about me, but
Yeah.
You know, when you and I were filming season 2, and you were on crutches, and I sometimes wonder, if you did not have the crutches, if you would be just dancing the night away like the rest of us.
No, I don't dance.
No. Yeah. Somehow I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you can dance.
I don't
Right?
dance. I don't dance well. Yeah, but you throw on some 80s music or some country western, yeah, I'll move.
Yeah. Well, for me, so I'm 28. I'd say I think older. I like older just because I like someone that kind of knows what they want in life, and you know, I think the younger generation, especially now, is very like instantaneous with the dating apps. You can swipe and you can find someone. And I feel like when you're younger, they feel like you can always find someone better, or someone better, you know, because of social media now. So, you know, I think older people kind of know more what they want and are more realistic about that. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to look like an Instagram model. So I think, you know, that's kind of how I have felt dating.
I see. Now, let's get into Tyray's experience on TLC, 90 Day Fiance, and then we'll talk a little bit about 90 Day The Single Life. So will you share some of that experience with Darren and I, because we're new to the network, and you did it twice.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. I wanted to touch on what I'm sorry, what was your name again? I'm sorry. The guy under
Jackson.
Yes. Sorry, Jackson. I'm crazy. Like what you were saying, now people have so much like easy access to other people, you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that does scare me as well. You know, like the younger people, they do want to kind of like, you know, like have like, you know, a boyfriend and like another boyfriend, you know what I mean? So that's the scary part for me. But I did want to kind of talk about what you were asking, Kelly.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Just like the whole like you know, signing up to do the show, and then, you know, I never thought I would get on the show. Like I never thought, you know what I mean? And then I had this whole crazy story that was going on and nobody knew about it. So it was kind of the way for me to kind of like tell people too, you know what I mean? But the experience was fun. I had a lot of fun. I filmed with a lot of cool people. I met some really cool people. And then just the experience of it, like putting yourself out there like that. I've always been kind of like shy. And like actually like being on TV, like sometimes I wake up and I forget, and I'm like, oh snap, you know what I mean? And I just want to bring it up, or I'll check social media. Yeah, it is, and it's really crazy. And people ask for pictures sometimes, and it's just kind of like wow, like like I can't believe I did it, but I really don't regret it. I had fun. I think it's good to make yourself vulnerable. You know what I mean? At any age, you know. There's people who did the show who were younger than me, older, and you know, we all have the story to tell and the history. And it was a good experience being on TLC, you know, making connections, meeting people, and then also you learn so much about yourself too. Like that was probably the main thing. Yeah, exactly. And you watch yourself, and sometimes I'm like my biggest critic, but then you also kind of realize, like, you see less of your faults, and then you have people relate to you who you wouldn't expect to relate to you. You know what I mean? And
so
that,
Tyray, how long was that process? Because it took us months. You know, Darren and I, the whole season, it just took us a long time to get to where we were. And how were you cast? Who cast you? And how long was the filming? And where was it filmed?
so the actual casting, I applied for the show in 2021 actually, and then I basically was told, that they already have a cast for the show or whatever, which I was glad. I was like, hallelujah! Now I don't have to embarrass myself, and I can, So I was like, okay. And then a year and a half later, I got a call, and they were like, are you still interested, and are you still seeing this person? If I did it a year earlier, I would have not gone through that whole process, but I was still, talking to that person. And then, what was it? 3 months later, 3 months later, we were filming. It took about 5 months. We had like a little gap in between, but it was a lot of fun. I filmed mostly here. I didn't leave the country or anything like that. Filmed here in Modesto, and then we went to Denver. And then, the green screen, the magic, the fun.
Yes.
I'm not sure how that works with you guys, though.
The constant going back to new green screens.
Right.
The fun part.
Right. Now, how long were you seeing your fiance then, or did they set you up with her?
Well, 3 years basically. Yeah, and it was a nightmare, the whole experience, and like I seen the red flags and stuff like that, but it was just kind of like it's hard to get rid of someone sometimes. You know what I mean? And that sounds crazy, but it is.
In everything, there's a season, and there's a reason. Until it's ready to fall off the tree, we shouldn't try to, pre-plug it, right?
Right.
Amen.
Yeah. Right, Jackson?
Right.
What questions do you have for Tyray? Because I have a lot of questions, and there are a lot of questions in my box.
Oh, I bet.
For Tyray here. Darren, if you wanted to ask Tyray anything, him being on 2 shows, versus us 1 show.
Well, Tyray, let me see. One of the things, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite memory from doing the show? Well,
the show. I would say, just like I don't know. I can't really explain. I'd say the tell-all. That was one thing, but it's really nerve-wracking because you don't know what's gonna happen. Like literally, it's like a surprise. Like I didn't know anything that was gonna happen. That was my first time doing the tell-all because the first show I had COVID when we did the tell-all, and it was a nightmare. And then people were making up rumors about me being afraid to go to New York for the tell-all. It was crazy, like nuts. But that was probably the best experience. And then we had a lot of fun afterwards. Hung out with some of the other cast members. But the main thing for me was just that, like, I was like the newcomer on the show, and I'm there with people who were on the show for years, like literally. Chantel, and then you have Tim and Veronica. They were on the show for a while. Natalie, she's like a veteran on the show, so I just kind of felt a little like out of place in a way. You know what I mean? Because like I was fresh off of before the 90 days. Like that show ended October, and then I was back on the show in January. So it wasn't even like a 3-month gap before they showed the trailer, and I think a lot of people weren't expecting it. So it's kind of hard. You guys probably understand too. Like not saying anything. I'm not sure how far out you guys were filmed or whatever, but it's like knowing that you're about to be on something and then you have to hide it and like you know what I mean? Like it's so nerve-wracking, and it's like, oh my God, like you have this big old thing like right here and you can't let it out because you get in trouble. I'm like, I want to post it on Facebook so bad, but I'm like, I can't.
Boy, Darren and I will have to say that we can relate to that because we were told, like you, to keep everything under, the covers, and then the rumors that so and so and we are not, and all of that, and then when we're able to post, they're like, oh, that's not real. Well, that we're supposed to keep it under covers.
Right.
Yeah, because we had almost 8 months between wrap up filming before the season premiere.
Oh
And
wow. Wow.
yeah, and so like when we would now we've been able to like post some pictures and that from some of our travels and time together, but we couldn't do anything. And then you're always a little worried about saying the wrong thing, posting the wrong thing. And even during the season as it was playing out, we waited to start doing this till, several weeks in. Well, really till, 8 weeks in. And even then, we'd be talking and chatting here online. It's like, oh, can't say that, can't say that.
Right. Yeah,
Now
that's part of the challenge.
now we can pretty much say anything within reason,
Right.
and which is a huge weight off your shoulders. And Tyray, I'm sure you felt that as well, especially being on 2 seasons of a show. Once it's all over, you're like, yes, I can talk.
Yeah, and then also I'm also a little afraid because I know I can say things, but then also I'm like, do I want to say too much? You know what I mean? I don't want to like say too much, and then I don't know how to explain it, but to mess something up and say too much, But I totally understand. You guys are together, so it's even harder. And then people are always looking and stuff, looking at you and being nosy.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of it. It's funny. We have to answer the same questions over
and over
and
again.
over and over.
Yes.
And I think I've seen some here. Are you guys still together? Are you guys still together?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Darren,
you and
Oh.
Kelly in a relationship. You
Oh,
two
yeah.
see me. Oh, that's that same. That's that same one that that keeps asking the same thing.
Are you
And
able to read all the questions, love?
the questions I can, yeah. I can go into some of the questions. This was just a comment.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
but let's see. Oh,
Yeah,
there's someone answering to that person about us, but
What?
let's see.
So maybe out here. So people, I know someone said something about you guys faking it for publicity. So like they said, and I interview a lot of different reality stars.
Thank you, Jackson.
Yeah. Yes. So they can't speak on things when the show's airing. So even though it happened 8 months ago, because of the way the show works and their contract, they can't speak on it, even in interviews and things like that. So I did an interview with Kelly a little bit ago, and people had been asking, "Can you ask this question?" And I tried to explain to people that you can't, they can't answer everything because it would give away the end of the show, and then people wouldn't want to watch the big finale. So that's why they couldn't say anything, guys. It doesn't mean they're faking it. It just means they had to keep it a secret so you could watch things play out on TV.
Yeah, we did an interview on TV with my son Sam, and after that interview, we were getting a lot of, are you guys still together? And we couldn't answer it because it was right after the season premiere. And that even through the season, all the way up until right before the finale, we were still getting asked. And then since the finale, we've been very open about it. Like, yes, we are. And, I even saw on here, why can't you just say yes? I've said it. Kelly has said it. Yes, we are together. We are in a relationship. It's mostly long distance, which is tough because I'm spending 90% of my time in Florida right now.
Oh.
And so it's tough, but Kelly is one of the most grace-filled people and gracious people, and is making it much easier for us because, yeah, we've had our trials and tribulations, especially with the distance, and there's a lot of negativity out there too.
Yes.
Now, Tyray, being a friend of mine, I've learned a lot about each other through our commonality, and I know that Tyray would testify that Darren and I are an item, and he will also say, coming from reality TV, you do have a contract, you do have an agreement, you can say certain things, just like Jackson said. And so, that being said, now that the finale is over, Darren and I just answered everybody's question, and that is, I got my friend here, I've got the expert here, and I've got my love here, and we just said that we are in a relationship. That we're able to say that now.
Yes.
Maybe
The
it's
finale
too maybe it's too grown up of a relationship for some to understand. I don't know. I don't know, you know, if it's just that we're too grown up in our relationship or that for some to understand it. But anyway,
I would love Tyray to speak on what he has seen of me, his friend, on the season. Tyray, will you just dish it out what your thoughts were? That is Kelly.
Yes.
That's not Kelly. Tell him, Tyray.
Yeah, so I did want to touch on what Speaker of Truth was saying about like doing a relationship for publicity. Like that's really tough. I don't think a lot of people, I'll say like not even 1% would do that. Like that's literally a very hard thing, especially if they are long distance like that. Like that's really difficult. So and it wouldn't really be a point of it, you know what I mean, since the show is already off.
Right.
So I think they would like probably break up, you know what I mean, if anything, instead of actually trying to fake a relationship, you know, for publicity, because it's not really gonna help anything, you know. And that's something you kind of learn doing the show. Like a lot of people think just because you're friends with like another cast member or you know, you talk or hang out. Like I've had those comments too, where they're like, oh, they're just hanging out for publicity, or they want an extra 15 minutes of fame or whatever. That's not the case. Sometimes you do meet these people who happen to be on the show with you, and you connect with them because you're able to talk about things that you can't talk about, you know, your cousin Sue or your Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? I can't call my aunt and talk about the TV show because she's not going to understand, you know? But I can talk to, you know, I can talk to you or Darren or even Jackson, you know what I mean? Or even any other cast members who I worked with. So we all kind of have that small thing in common, which makes us all like tight, you know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of people don't have that. It's like a, not even like a coworker relationship. It's different, you know what I mean? And people will say things like that, you know, like it's fake or whatever. They're not really friends, but most of the time, it's true. People are friends, you know what I mean? There's some who just fake the friendships, but you can tell, like privately, you know, private conversations or whatever. Most of the time, people are genuine with it, you know. But no one's doing anything for publicity or anything like that. We're all, you know, just trying to enjoy, you know, our 15 minutes of fame. You know, we had fun, and you know, we connected on this, and this is something that's always going to be there. You know, these videos and these shows, like 10 years down the line, you know, our kids or grandkids or whatever, you know, they're going to see it. And you know what I mean? They might be embarrassed about it. I might, you know, I'll be like 73 and be like, okay, that was me back then, you know, but that's just the truth, guys. You know, we just have that connection, that bond that a lot of people don't even understand. So to like say it's doing these things for publicity or anything like that. No, it's just, you know, we connected on that level and we all kind of have that common interest. So
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm still friends with almost everyone from the show, and these are people that I would not have most likely met otherwise. I mean, we live in all various areas of the country. Well, and we had two of them that were from out of country, and it's actually a great thing. I mean, the connections you make on the show, and I hope we all stay friends, you know, forever.
For sure.
And because it is a common experience that we've had that, you know, is not really normal. I mean, it's nothing I normally would have done, you know, is to be on a show like this. And yeah, so it's actually, it's been a lot of fun for the most part.
Yes. And I want to say thank you to Tyray, because during the one episode, Tyray, it was about sexting or something.
Yeah.
And I had like nearly 1 million people watching me, and Tyray stepped in and saved the day. And they're like, would you please have her eat a burger?
Oh no.
They want you to eat a burger and they want me on Ozempic. So
Can't win. You can't win.
Right,
Unfortunately.
Jackson is like, you can't win. You can't win, but I want to make sure that Tyray know that I really appreciate you coming to my defense, because Darren and I were just like getting it all over the place, left and right, and it was coming in so fast. And you know, it's like, I know when you put yourself out there, you're gonna get some heat. And
Yes.
the most heat I got that you and I caught was like, does she eat? Yes, I eat.
No, yeah, no problem. Because I seen it and I had it happen to me, like literally, and I see it happen a lot to other like women cast members on all sorts of the shows. Literally, I had another cast member who was on 90 Day. We were talking about that earlier. Me and her became really good friends, and like it happens to the men too. And it's just weird because it's just like mainly the people saying it usually have like it's their own insecurities that they're reflecting off of someone else. And especially like the sexting thing, and talking about like that kind of stuff on TV. That's hard because I didn't want to talk about that neither. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Very like, you know what I mean? But it's a show and you're being real. You want to be yourself, and that's the topic. That's going to happen in a relationship either way. And when I was going through like getting bad, crazy comments, I never had like cast members reach out or like defend me like publicly. And that's one thing I feel like a lot of the cast members need to do a little better at. You know what I mean? Especially the ones who are well known and who have like a bigger following. They definitely should try to like defend the cast members who are getting kind of like eaten alive for things like that, because like it's just the human thing to do. I think it's always something going on, but like the 90 Day cast, everyone's crazy there. But there was another incident when a cast member was like arguing with another cast member, and like this other cast member was just getting eaten alive by so many people, and it's like terrible how bad she's getting like talked about. And I'm like let me try to like say something so they can kind of like calm down or whatever. It didn't help, but we were trying to
that was a good attempt. Yeah, for sure. So that being said, what was either one of you, Tyray and Jackson, what was the most fun challenge or episode from this season that you liked when you think about MILF season, MILF Manor season 2?
Okay. Tyray, is it okay if I go first?
Yeah, of course.
I have a few answers because I was just watching the show. So the first one, I liked the strip tease challenge with the guys. I thought that was a fun thing. I thought it was fun. And the other one that I think it was a weird challenge, but I liked it. The butt challenge was hilarious to watch. And Darren, I loved your commentary on it because even though you didn't get to do the challenge, the way you were announcing it and just having fun with it, I loved that, and it was fun to see everyone just have fun and not worry about everything. So yeah, I thought those two were really fun.
It was a lot of fun for the cast to do that one. The striptease, I don't know how much fun that was for the dads and sons to do, just doing it in front of your son or your dad. But the butt challenge, that was actually probably my favorite, just because we did have so much fun as a cast.
Yes.
And Kelly was so cute, how she was so like barely touch. Oh wait, I was just gonna.
Yes.
I think the audience have picked up I'm a little more reserved.
Right.
And just the way I was brought up, and I was always thinking about my daughter and my community, my culture, my family. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not consciously sign up for this, Tyray, but I did the best that I could. And I want to be able to live with it, and like you say, the 15 minutes of fame, I did not sign up for that. I did sign up for age appropriate dating opportunity. And so that caught me off guard a little bit. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you all that I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. My favorite one was absolutely when I could just watch the dad try to sell themselves by doing strip teasing to us. And I'm watching Darren sitting on his stool and he's trying to, move like the rest of the dads. That was so much fun.
Yes.
And Ashley took my crutch away.
Yes, he did. I said that was so
to
funny.
Use it as a prop.
Right.
That was creative. That was creative. But how about Tyray? Yes. What was your favorite episode? Yeah.
I'm going to say my favorite was when your daughter came and the kids and the family members. I thought that was a sweet moment. Something that's not shown enough on TV. Yeah. It's kind of like how we're all human. You know what I mean? And kind of how we're emotional and attached to our family. Because I know when I did my show, having my family there with me was a big part of it. You know what I mean? And the moms were kind of, you guys were alone in a sense.
Yeah.
The dads had their sons and their nephews, or whoever it is, and you guys are kind of just there. So I thought that was really sweet and really cute, just to have like a family member there to kind of support you.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Tyray, because I did get a few reactions. Like I was so emotional. I was almost over the top. Well, Darren knows me now, and he knows that she is my life, and you know me as a single mom. That she's my legacy. Her and I are very, very close. We would text every day or talk, and we would have FaceTime on Sundays because that's our mom and daughter, even if she's doing chores. I didn't get to have any of that during the filming, and I was, told over and over again, you're going to get your call, you're going to get your call. And then it was to a point where I kind of give up, like, this is towards the end, and I'm not going to get to hear my daughter. And then looking back, I understand why they did what they did, because when, like she said, we had a couple of calls that were like 3 minutes, and I remember the story producer standing right there like I was a prisoner. And looking back, I understand, because they already had something working with Michelle to surprise me, and they didn't want anything to leak. And that's why I reacted the way I did, not because I haven't seen her for years. It's because we are close, and I didn't hear from her for the entire time I was filming.
Well, Kelly, and you probably should let everyone know too, because I think it's an important part of that you and Michelle every Sunday, regardless of what I want to go do with you or whatever, you guys talk for hours. Every Sunday. And so going for 3-4 weeks without having that ability to talk to her was tough on you, because we had talked about that while we were there at the manor, that she's so used to talking to her daughter several times a week, and every Sunday, I'll just tell you now, it's at least 2 hours on the phone.
Yes, and because I'm a little vain, like the three of you have glasses, I should be wearing glasses, and I just remember seeing someone with dark hair and thin, and I'm like, I just heard somebody saying that's Kelly Mack's daughter, and I saw her standing there, and I'm thinking, is that a hologram? A hologram? And when she started walking towards me, I'm like, oh, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. Right. And so it was an exciting moment for sure. I'm so glad that was received by you, my friend, and the fans. They're like, oh my goodness, that she is. And Darren will tell you, she's everything to me.
Yes. And I think the other part, I don't know if people know this, so maybe you can explain. So you guys do have phones technically, but you don't use them to call out. They're not like your own phone. They're phones for the show to get texts and stuff about the challenges and things. So I'm sure some people are confused about that, because you do have a phone, but you can't just text or call people, right?
Point.
Correct. So they give each of us a phone, but there's no internet service on the phone. There's no phone service. It's just basically WhatsApp, and we can text each other. And that's it. And so it's not even really WhatsApp. I don't know how to explain it. They're Google phones, and they're only connected to each other. Now, I'm going to say it now because I think a lot of people know it. Some of the young men, a lot more tech savvy than some of us, they figured a way around that and got in trouble. Oh, yeah, we got in a little bit of trouble. But mostly it wasn't to contact anyone. We were just wanting to know sports scores because it was the beginning of football season.
Oh boy, that would be the worst.
And we had no access to TV or anything. So yeah, some of them were like, "Oh, here, let's find out, football game scores."
Oh my god.
So
yes. Was your son involved, Darren, or no? Was he good?
I'm neither going to confirm or deny. My son was 100% involved in that.
Oh yes. Oh, there's my friend Richard. What they probably use what is called a limited broadband network. Oh, okay. I don't know all the tech stuff, but yes.
Are we able to start taking some questions left? Can you scroll? Because there's questions. I know there's a couple questions I have to ask my friend Tyray. My girlfriends are so attracted to you, and they want me to ask. They said, Kelly, are you really friends with Tyray? Yes. And they want me to ask, are you still single?
Yeah, I am single.
Yeah.
There you go.
You heard it
Tyray
here
is still
first.
single. Yes.
And then, so Kelly, I don't know how much you want to answer about your bikinis, but there's some questions on please share sizes, how much, and then another one is how much are your bikinis?
All right. So guys, real quick, of course I'm a salesperson. I have to sell something every time I'm talking about, what I do for a living. It's either fitness or something with wellness. And my next venture is, of course, the bikinis. Now, this one here is mine, and this is what I wore for my photo shoot. And so this is back order, everyone. And we are still taking orders for this, by the way. And so keep your order coming in, because I can still order it. And all of my bikinis are $99. And one of my favorite color, guys, is purple. Michelle's favorite color as well. And this one's a little unique. I don't know if I would wear it, but I just know some of the women would. And that's I do like the jewels, but I don't know. That's a lot of skin for mom. But this is fine. So if you want a little more skin, I do have a little more skimpy outfits here, and they do come in different colors. They come small, medium, and large. And then this is one of mom's favorite. I do like this. I like the little teaser. Right? What do you guys think? You guys like this design? It's not too crazy.
I love it.
It's a little teaser. Yeah, a little more classy. And this one has a little fuller coverage, which mom likes. And so this works. And it's still classy. And so this is 3 of the many designs that will be live August 3rd at the Phoenix Swimwear.
That was
fashion
the next
show.
question. Good.
Yes.
That was the next question.
Yes.
Was when is the fashion show?
Yes,
And,
that's August 3rd.
Here's a question for Tyray. Tyray, were there any challenge you thought was gross for Kelly Mack?
Oh, gross.
Oh, that's a good question for my
I'm just reading specific exact words. So.
I love it. Ask my friends.
Gross. You know what? I think that every challenge had a aspect that was designed to make people feel uncomfortable a little bit and to get everybody out their comfort zone. So I'll go with that. I think that the challenges were all fun in a way.
Yes.
I'm like Kelly here. I'm like a little more on the vanilla side, but I think it's cool. I think that for what the show is, you know what I mean, and I think it's gonna keep people engaged. So I think that all the challenges had a meaning behind them.
Did I gross you out? Did I gross Jackson out? Did I gross Tyray? How about you, love? Was I discussing?
Nope. You maintained your class at all times. And look, I'll go back to what you talked about with the sexting and just reiterate. And I know we've talked about it before, Kelly, online and in person a lot. That was a massive, massive outside of the box, outside of your comfort zone to do that. And, the fact that she did it I was honored. Big time, but just the fact that she, stepped way outside and maintained her classiness doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was corrected recently, when I did the post on the episode, and I said sexting. It's like, no, it's not sexing. It's sexting or something like that.
What
is
sexting, yeah.
Yes.
SEXTING, sexting.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. I'll just stick to the old fashioned, you and I, and, the human, interaction, or, I think that, it just makes you fonder, back in the day, you have to wait until you actually meet someone, right? Versus just so instant. It's so instant. It just cheapens it.
Right.
It happens in 10 minutes now.
Right?
Exactly.
right?
I'll just real quick. Let me answer this quick
Sure.
question, Darren. When are you going to see Kelly? I get out to Phoenix as often as possible, and then, as you guys might have seen, we do a little bit of travel together when we can. But with your bikini show coming up and everything else, we've both been very busy, so not as often as either of us would like. But yeah, so as often as possible is the best way to put that. There's another question about any reunion. Kelly, how do you feel about that question?
Reunion for the cast or reunion for
the cast?
us?
I would
for
say the cast. Yeah.
Yes. I think that our efforts in trying to get everybody together is sincere, and we're gonna make a big effort in putting that together. But Tyray and Jackson, you guys been there, done that. I know you guys had your reunion, Tyray. There was some premiere or something I saw on your page that TLC held. So the answer to our question here is we're MM2 fans. We're trying our best. We're trying our best. But I want to ask Tyray, because I know that TLC had held something for you guys.
Yeah.
How did that work out? Will you share that with us?
So that was the 90-day 10-year anniversary. So basically they had it was amazing, by the way. They invited cast members who were going to be on Single Life, who were going to be on Happily Ever After, and I think they invited some Pillow Talk cast members. So none of us knew exactly why we were there. You know what I mean? They only chose a certain amount of people. So basically they invited me because of Single Life, and I think also because I didn't go. Well, actually, no. I think it was just for Single Life. That's why they invited me. And then they didn't have all the cast members, so they had me, Veronica, Chantel, Debbie, and Tim. So they had 5 out of 7, I think. I think 2 were missing, and then they had maybe like half of the cast on the new 90-day season 10. No, they only had 1 cast member from that show. They had HEA cast members. So basically, I got an email from them. They were saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this big reunion. It's gonna be like a launch party." And like Matt Sharp was there, so he's the guy who owns Sharp Entertainment. And then the president of TLC was there. A whole bunch of like executives. They were all really good people, really cool. They were talking about potentially doing another event like that, but they were saying that it's just kind of hard to invite like everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people kind of like misinterpreted that event as being like a celebration of like certain cast members, when it was actually a celebration of the new upcoming like 3 shows. But it was fun. TLC throws really good events. I'm not sure how you guys' other things worked, but TLC also does like photo shoots for the show. And they had like a big one last year in Atlanta, and that was for Single Life. So they flew us to Atlanta, and they had like cast members from a bunch of other shows. There was like for 90 Days season 10, there was like the Plathville people, and the show with all the little girls and the dad with like 25 daughters. Yeah, all those shows. So that was actually really cool.
Now, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But like you were saying, Kelly, the reunion, like getting cast members together, it is really hard. I would love to do a reunion from the first show, because I only met 3 cast members from the first show I was on, from before the 90 days. Gino, Jasmine, and Riley. I didn't meet anyone else because I had COVID, and I didn't go to the reunion. And I met Gino and Jasmine at that New York event. I met Riley in San Diego. So it's really hard to get people together, but we used to have like a little group chat on WhatsApp, how we just like communicate and stuff. So but for sure, I think if everyone puts in that effort, I think you guys can do it.
Yeah. Now, Jackson, I was going to ask you, because you like follow and recap and do shows on reality TV. Were you expecting, or are you surprised there's not an official reunion from this season?
I am, and I'm not. So they didn't do one for season 1, and I think, and I can talk about it maybe in a little bit. I liked season 2 better. I loved season 1 because my girl April Jane was on there, and that's one of my mom went to high school with her, so I adore her. But I think season 2 just had they knew what to expect from season 1, and they kind of changed it up for season 2. So I thought there might be a reunion, but I know that I'm sure Tyray knows from doing the tell-alls. I know that they do cost the network and everything a lot of money, because it's an all-day thing, and everyone has to get dressed up, and you have to fly everyone out there. And I think with let's face it, there's probably too many liability with some of the season, and yes, and there can be a lot of after people have watched the show and seen what people have said about them and things like that, there can be a lot of drama with it as well. So they may just not have decided to do it, but I hope in the future MILF Manor will get a tell-all reunion like 90 Day Fiance gets and some of the other shows. But maybe you can do your own fun, reunion where it's not as high stakes, and maybe people would feel more comfortable doing it just like on, Instagram Live or something. Just not like a dramatic reunion, more fun and reminiscing on the fun times, I think is what people also want to see.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Kelly and I are working on trying to put something together, get as much of the cast together as you can. And you can only have 4 people on Instagram, but we're working with other people, trying to see if we can get, some of it like pre-recorded and then just kind of mashed all together. Because I think there does seem to be a bit of a, not an outcry. I'm not going to say that, but there's quite a few people that are saying, oh, we want a reunion, we want to hear what's going on in everybody's lives. And I'm sure Tyray can speak to this as well. There is a lot of curiosity out there about what's going on now a certain amount of time later, and people want to know.
Hey, I like that, Tyray.
An update. I think they can do it. I like that. I think this is logistics. It's just there's kind of like a big cast, but I think they can do it in a way to make it still engaging with so many people. You know what I mean? So I think that they could definitely make it work. I think, especially this season, it really got a lot of publicity. Like, it was insane. You know what I mean? Like, and the show was on for months, like a really long time. I think you guys came out like literally, I think
April.
So that's
April through into July. 12 episodes.
12 episodes. Yeah, so that was a really long show. I think they definitely can make it work. I think they're trying to figure it out. Like Jackson was saying, they're still trying to get the make it work in a way where they improved on the first season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think now kind of have that in mind. So I think they need to figure out a way to do like an update. Just to it can even be an hour. Just get everyone together though, because we want to hear the arguments. You know what I mean? We want to hear the drama. We want to hear who had the clicks or the connections and stuff like that. So I think they can do something like that.
So that being said, outside of me, because we're friends, what were both of your impression on all the MILFs this season?
Yes.
Want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was interesting. I thought it was really interesting to see so many different, type of women together. And then, there's a lot of bloggers that do 90 Day stuff and MILF Manor stuff. The 90 Day universe. We're in the same universe, and they I seen something. One of the cast members was talking about another one, and I'm like, whoa. So it's crazy just to see kind of how I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like the instinct when you're in a way fighting over the men are fighting over the women are fighting over the men. So it's kind of interesting to see just that aspect of it. So Kobe, because you don't know exactly who who's gonna want who. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Let's say there's 2 women who want this one guy. You know what I mean? And then there's some women who might exclusively just want a younger guy. So I think that you guys had a really good cast. The casting with TLC has been amazing lately. I'll say that they've been really good.
Now, what do you both think that when they brought Kelly back, the beautiful blonde back to season 2?
Yes. No, I like Kelly. I liked Kelly from season one, and I think she was a standout in season one. I think she's really good about uh, doing things that maybe some people don't want to do, and she doesn't really mind looking. Here's what I'll say: every reality show needs a villain, quote unquote, and you have to have it to continue to have stories. So I know there's a lot of people on social media that say, well, she's mean, she's this, she's that. But if we didn't have Kelly, if we didn't have Kelly, then there wouldn't be someone to kind of do the hard things. Maybe I know she went up to a few people and she would just say what she felt. She'd confront people in the hot tub. She'd do this, and that's the drama that people really want to see. So I mean, I think she's great TV. I think she's funny. I love her son Joey when he was on season one, and I know he came back a little bit for season two. But yeah, I think, and it was great. And her relationship in season one didn't work out, so I think it was good to see her come back and see her with some other guys and stuff. So yeah, I was excited to see Kelly back.
What about you, Tyray?
So I didn't watch season one that much, so
Me too.
I was a little lost when I seen her. I was like, okay, who's this? So but I think it's good when they bring people back. I think it brings something because you want to have that what do you call it, connectivity, you know what I mean, of the show, where it seems like it's like a continuation, you know what I mean, like you don't want to just see it just end, you know what I mean, kind of like with her relationship it ended, but you kind of want to see still what's going on. So I think it's good that they still brought someone back. Hopefully they do that again. Maybe someone who didn't find love, or maybe someone who did find love, and maybe they want to see if they want to find more love, you know what I mean, maybe stir the pot a little bit. I kind of like that kind of stuff.
Stir the pot.
Here, I'll be the villain. I'm going to spill tea about Kelly Mortensen a little bit.
Yeah.
And she'll probably be so mad at me. She's actually really nice and really sweet.
She is.
When you're just talking to her and it's not, whether the cameras are rolling or not, like everybody knows I had injured my leg, and what they didn't show, I re-injured it during the filming, and I was laid up in the bed for a day. That was the day that the last two guys showed up. But Kelly she came in to bring me some fruit and brought me a book to read. She's actually and Disco, I know you're going to get mad. I'm spilling tea on you. You got your reputation, but she's actually just a sweet, lovely lady.
I really like Kelly. Yep. I wish they brought April back for season two, because I think she would have done so well with guys closer to her age that she could connect with more. I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers April Jane from season one. I think she should go back and do another season or do something else, maybe like the Golden Bachelor or something. But I think you guys were lucky in season two. You got to have the choice between the dads and the younger guys. So I wish April would come back.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see season 3 if they do it.
Yes. Do you think so, Tyray? Do you think they're going to bring back season, or are they going to?
Oh yes. You guys, the show is locked in. I think there's going to be a new every year. There's going to be a new season around the same time. I think that this solidified it. You guys had a really good season, good cast, good reviews. People are into it. You know what I mean? People have been watching it. So I think that there's going to be a lot more seasons. They might even expand it in a way. Maybe they'll make MILF Manor Happily Ever After or something.
Oh,
there you go.
We like that.
Yes.
We like that.
I like that a lot.
Idea.
Yes.
I like that
idea.
too. I think it'd be cool, especially with the people who maybe MILF Manor Single Life too. Something like that. I don't know. Some type of something.
I do like that.
They have options.
So I just said, laugh out loud. Next season is going to be moms and daughters. Calling it now.
It might be.
Moms, daughters, sons, and dads.
What could be their next twist?
I think that, or what, I had an idea of what else it might be. I can't remember now what I was thinking, but they do definitely do different twists. I think this season, like I said, was a lot people liked this season, the twist better with the dads and the sons. I know the first season, I think a lot of people felt a little uncomfortable because it was moms and their sons, and they were all in the same dating pool. So it felt kind of awkward. But I think this season felt a lot more, it made more sense, and I think people enjoyed it more. But so I don't know what twist they'll throw in if they do a season 3. I'm not sure, but it could be moms and daughters. It could be, trying to think of what another one.
Yeah.
Dads and daughters, maybe. You never know. I mean, you could.
Yeah, that could get crazy. One that I kept seeing was
Oh
they
my
talked
God,
about
that's
kind of doing the, young men and older women, and then instead of bringing in the young men's dads, they brought in like ex-husbands or
Yes, that's what I
exes
was
to
thinking.
the
oh
role.
Wow.
I think that would be
my
good.
God.
That could be crazy because even though your ex and you don't get along, maybe your ex gets along with one of the other moms, and so that could get heated too. But I think it would make good TV.
I
That would
think
be
it would.
good.
Yeah.
That's actually a really interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Now, Tyray, one of my DM questions for you before I forget is that ask Tyray, what is the difference between 90 Day Fiance and the single life that stood out? Like where it was filmed and what you took away from it is one of the
Oh,
question that asked. And which one was your favorite? Did you like
that's a
one?
good one. Oh, sorry. That's a good single life, hands down.
Hands
So
down.
much more fun. I was more comfortable, more relaxed. I was so uncomfortable filming the first show and having the cameras. It took me a while to adjust. Not too long, after a few days, but I was just able to. I felt like I was more myself on the single life, as opposed to doing B90, just because it was a whole different vibe. Like I was happy during single life. Like we were like traveling. There's so much stuff that they didn't film that I wish they would have. We went to Hawaii. Me and my sister and sister-in-law. We went to a beautiful wedding in Monterey. There was just so much that happened. Yeah, so many things, and I was just the whole vibe of my own personal feeling. I was comfortable, and I was just enjoying life, having fun. Putting myself back out there. And then single life was just, I don't know, just so much easier, way more chill. And it was fun dating. You know what I mean? Like, I was really out of my comfort zone, just not using any apps or anything like that. Just meeting women in person, and that was fun. You don't know how much you have in common with someone or what you might like. You know what I mean? The same type of thing. So I think it was really cool. I think it was fun, and then even the cast too. I had really fun with a lot of fun with the cast, and then just kind of like waiting until the show came out. Because like like we were talking about earlier, we all kind of had to like keep our secrets about the show or whatever. So that was
Now,
my whole thing.
what was the window between 90 Day Fiance and 90 Day The Single Life? Was there a couple years before you were approached?
Oh no, it was I filmed Single Life not even a few weeks after. I mean, after I got back from Denver, about 2 months after I had finished B90, so I didn't have it. Yeah, it was really quick. They're trying to fill a spot. I think I was one of the first to film, maybe not the first, but I was like in between. But it was a lot of fun. It wasn't a huge gap or anything like that. But my stuff is still fairly recent. The first show was filmed like 2022, like in the fall, and then Single Life during like the spring and stuff like that. So it wasn't too far out. So everything was pretty much, kind of new, not even a year old. So it was a lot of fun. Had so much fun.
Now, do you have another show? I'm sorry, love. Do you have another show, or do you have to wait a year just like we have to wait for a year?
You know what? I think our contracts might be different. I'm not sure actually, but I know if I was to go to like a different network or whatever, I think we have to wait for that period to end, But I'm still under contract for the Single Life right now. For that first season I did. For a whole another year. So
because this could be, it's the same network because Bama Missy 40 asked, would Ty date a MILF? And so that could be a crossover too. You could the next MILF.
That's a good one. That's a good one, yeah.
That's a good one.
So Tyray, would you date a MILF?
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I think being in the house though, like the mansion, that would be a little like that would really throw me off, like being away, you know what I mean, and locked up in a way. Like you guys were talking about the phone thing, like I would go crazy because like I like to just like research random stuff, like literally like how are eye drops made, you know what I
Oh my
mean?
God.
Like literally, I'm so weird with stuff like that. But I would love to do that. That would really throw me out of my comfort zone. That would be so much fun. I
Yes.
think they really need something like that. I would be so down.
And Jackson, you said you were 28, so you're right in that at the
Yeah,
top end of what a lot of
that
young men
stuff.
are.
Oh
So
my gosh. I don't know. I don't see. I love covering reality shows. I give it up to you guys. It's hard to do a reality show, especially with all, as you guys talked about, people can say whatever they want about you, and it's a hard thing to kind of put your life out there. And I think, especially with dating, I've always thought about that. Dating on national TV in any way, whether it's, in a mansion, in a house, or if you're dating like the single life where get to go on dates, it's hard. That's a very vulnerable thing to share with the world and be able to put yourself out there. I don't know if I could do it. It's hard.
it is hard. And it wasn't easy. I mean, obviously, we had a really good
Right.
cast, and everybody was really great and all, but just like presenting yourself, and I don't know, maybe this is me being an older guy and that being vulnerable on TV
Right.
is not the same as being vulnerable when Kelly and I are hanging out at my place.
Right.
It's a whole different story, but it's kind of funny because you just start getting used to it. You really do,
Right.
and you forget about the cameras until the
Right.
season comes out
Yeah.
on TV, and then you rewatch. Then you watch it, and you go,
You're
"Oh
like,
my god!"
Yes. Yeah. How did you guys feel? I'm curious. All three of you, actually. How did you feel watching yourselves date and get to know people and that kind of stuff on TV?
huh,
Kelly,
how
Kelly,
do
yeah.
I feel? I feel like I have like, a convenient memory where I remember certain parts, and then I watch it with America with fresh lenses. I'm like, oh my goodness, I said that,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
or I actually did that, and then the whole smell thing was like so out of proportion. Like, oh my goodness, you have a fetish? No, I'm 100 years old and I bathe, so you should bathe.
hey, you gave me a whole new habit when, like, I'm coming to pick you up. Right as I pull up, I'm always like,
Yes.
making sure. I'm not sure what I'm smelling for, but I'm always just trying to make sure that I don't smell funny.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that would be, what I don't know. You guys tell us, Darren and Tyray.
Yes. How did you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me,
Yes.
man,
Yeah.
it
You
was
go
awkward,
first.
really awkward. Seeing yourself kiss
Yeah.
people, seeing your pickup
Oh
lines,
my God.
hearing your voice, like that alone was the thing. I'm like, I hate my voice when I stare. You know what I mean? And it's like you
Your
really
voice.
start picking on yourself. And like, why did I wear that outfit?
Yes.
And like, there was yes,
Yeah.
a scene
Yes.
in New Orleans. It was
Oh yeah.
110 degrees. I was
Yeah.
like sweating like a pig, and I'm like,
You're
oh my
your
God.
own worst critic, aren't you,
Yes,
Ty?
yes. Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yes.
And but also like seeing how much fun it was. You know what I mean? I'm like, I had fun. You know what I mean? I want to relive that moment. You know what I mean? And it kind of like, man, I really was in the moment during that time, and that's something you really can't take away because so many times, like I know for myself, I'm like literally not in the moment. I'm kind of like away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like during filming, I always was there in the moment. You know, I took it, and that was just an experience that I can't never take back, and it's something I'm always gonna have. So, just seeing yourself though, like date and kiss, and just talk about intimacy and stuff. That's a little awkward, but other than that, it's pretty fun. And then worrying about people seeing you, like your friends and family. I'm like, oh God. I'm like closing my eyes, covering my ears. I'm like, don't watch that.
Yeah.
And we had like a big premiere party twice. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I would have to agree with you, Tyray. I think it's very weird like I watched a couple of scenes where Darren and I were in the tub, And I'm like, I need to make sure you see that I have bathing suit on, because we're not going in there without a bathing suit. And then to watch us getting intimate was kind of weird. And I don't know. It's just, I, I felt like I'm super out of my comfort zone. Like I'm very vocal, right? When I'm with someone that is of interest to me, and I will, make sure he knows that. But to display it on national TV, it was like, ooh. I even went, Kelly. Yeah, like when I was watching Darren and I, exchanging our deep thoughts in the tub was very. I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this experience. I did, and like you, I did savor it. I did. It was uncomfortable, but I did savor it.
Well, and the tub was so damn hot, so hot.
I bet.
They literally, Kelly actually had like heat exhaustion getting out. They had to bring the medics in.
They didn't show that.
They didn't show it. Yeah, because they show and people were razzing me about, oh my God, you were so nervous, you were sweating bullets. I'm like, no, the water was like 150 degrees. I mean, you could have made stew in that.
Oh my God.
And when we got out, Kelly actually basically almost passed out, and they had to bring the medics in.
Yes,
and yeah,
they did. They
did. So,
oh my gosh,
they didn't show that, but
crazy.
Yeah, me personally, I as I was watching it, I actually found myself more comfortable with the public display than I thought I would. And yeah, and I think that's probably because Kelly, as people know now, Kelly and I continue to talk, and we do talk a lot about not something I was ever really good at, but talking about our feelings. And, and it just gets better. And over the months before they put it on air, we had enough conversations that I think I just got comfortable with talking about my feelings and more public. And her daughter, she grills me. So, yeah, you just have to get used to being interrogated. So it's like I'm on TV all the time still now.
oh my God.
My daughter is a beautiful and a wise young lady. She's everything to me, and she represented Mom very well. I'm very proud of her. Yes. She did really well.
You did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of love for you, Tyray.
I know. I'm seeing
I would agree. I would agree for that.
People love
all the love that's coming in.
I never come on this app. Like I come on, I'll post a story, and I'll leave.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. I do appreciate it. What is this? Thank you guys. Yeah, we started this whole hour, trying to address the rumors and the gossip. And like, Jackson said, when you were talking or interviewing with other cast members, there was a lot of gossip and rumors. And we're here to say, and Tyray would support us, that we did sign a NDA, and we just have to keep it, and honor, what we agreed to. Now the show is over.
So now we can spill the tea.
Yeah.
Which I think we have. I mean, I came out and I got razzed a little bit about it because I posted, because I was tired of keeping it in. And so literally the minute the finale ended, I posted basically a story and just said, yes, Kelly and I are together. I wrote kind of a little note to Kelly on there. And I got smacked for that because people were like, I hadn't seen the finale yet.
But
I'm like, well, then you should have watched it live, damn it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, Barbie.
I think you did so awesome with that, love, and the timing was good for people that were, we finished watching it. It came on exactly the way that you planned it, and how honest you were, in your caption, and how beautiful it was put together. I'm not sure, did Tyray and Jackson saw the clip? It's on our it's pinned on our profile. And it was beautiful because he was able to just put a little bit of everything together And he even chose one of my favorite song, and that is Chris Stapleton. You know, what is it? Tennessee Whiskey.
Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah.
That's a good
which
song.
is one of Kelly's favorite songs.
Yes.
Believe it or not, she keeps saying she's a little old lady from Pasadena, but she's actually a little country girl. So
Tyray, you know, I came from the Los Angeles, California area. You're in Modesto. I grew up in Pasadena, and I'm proud of that city. I saw it when it was really bad, and now it's flourishing, and I always tell people, yes, that little old lady from Pasadena, you're looking right at her. I grew
up. Still in there.
Yes. So, we can continue on with this all night with my friends and Darren, my other half.
Yeah.
But I know that, we all have, to go because tomorrow I have to get up at 4 to train my clients.
Oh.
But I would love it, Tyray, that if you would consider coming back to elaborate on your shows. And of course, we want Jackson back because you're the expert. Yeah. And we can, revisit this again.
Yeah.
And I think the fans would love it because I think Jackson would agree that we do have a following. Darren and I have a following that are cheering for us. And then everybody loves Tyray. They're going to have to come back for more.
This was fun. I think this is good. I like being able to talk and kind of clear the air about things, and also just kind of let people see that we are humans and real people. Yeah, exactly. And just to kind of see a different perspective as to just what they see on the show. So anytime for sure.
Yeah, I would love to revisit this with the both of you, and of course with Darren. And just so you know, everyone that's watching, we're thinking once this recap portion of MM2, MILF Matters 2, we're going to rename it, Getting Real with Kelly Mack and Darren, cast from MM2, instead of calling it Milfing Monday. This way we can talk more with 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day the Single Life, and Pillow Talk, or meeting people. Just, it opens up to anything TLC reality.
Right.
I like that.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I love it.
Instead of just honing in, because we might want to rename it when there is a MM3, right?
Right.
But until then, we can open up our window to talking to people like my friend here from, TLC. There's so many shows.
Yeah.
So many
a lot, so many.
Yeah. And the fans love our feedback and, our opinion on your show and Jackson on our show. It's just it's a fun hour to spend with our fans.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I really appreciate y'all coming on too.
Yeah.
It's been nice to clear the air. And obviously, I've heard a lot about both of you, so nice to meet like this.
So I want to say thank you to my friend Tyray for spending this hour with us.
No,
and
thank you. Thank all three of you guys.
For the
Jackson,
love. For the
Darren,
love.
Kelly,
For the love. And then I want to thank you, Jackson, for spending this time with us and giving us your feedback. And of course, I want to give the love back to Darren for spending this hour with us. Right? And we promise you, Kelly Mack and Darren fans, that we will continue this with Tyray and